Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Larry Graves, aka the Funeral Comedian. You know, memorial services are usually very sad and depressing, and that's why I am here to put a smile on your face. Now, so far I've done a stand-up routine for 3 memorial services, and I have to admit, there was no laughter, no smiling faces, but I know I am affecting people because I can see it in their eyes. Sir, what's with the pissed off look? Somebody shit in your cornflakes? If you don't like this memorial service, go to another one. Tell you, always some asshole at a memorial service. Now, we are here for the memorial service for Gordon Gall. Now, Mr. Gall was a drug enforcement officer for over 18 years. It's very sad that he died so young. He was only 42 years old. And I don't want to go into the details of his death because, you know, there's always rumors floating around town. I think the best one was when his grandmother came up to me and said that she thinks it was a drug-related death, which makes sense because he was a drug enforcement officer. Some very beautiful, sexy women out there. Some of you showing a little bit of cleavage, which is nice. I am not offended by cleavage. I mean, as long as you're not out there juggling them, I don't see anything wrong with it. And speaking of sexuality, my nephew is writing a book on sexuality, and he asked me if I could do a quick survey for the ladies out there, just a quick question, just for women 60 years and younger, please. Just raise your hands for a yes. Does size really matter? Okay, put your hands down, thank you. And on the subject of drugs, I grew up in the 70s, and believe it or not, I never ever smoked pot. Now, I will admit, in the last year or so, I've had some very strong tea. And it's so funny, you know, when you're listening to, like, the Beatles, like, this is what happened when I had very strong tea. I started listening just to the Beatles because I thought, oh my God, they really, truly are the best band in the world. So I just listened to them day after day after day. And then, you know, after a while, I thought, well, I gotta play something else. So I played some Pink Floyd music while drinking very strong tea. And, you know, same thing. Oh my God, this is the greatest band of all time. And so I just kept playing Pink Floyd, Pink Floyd, Pink Floyd. Then I thought things over a little bit, and I thought, what if I play Nickelback next? And that's right. Oh my God, Nickelback is the greatest band of all time. It shows you the effects of drugs, and drugs are bad for you. You suck great big hairy goat balls. Hi Gus, how you doing? Thank you. Boy, it's really blowing outside. And speaking of blowing, I'll skip that joke, sorry. Man, that was a little freaky earlier when they had the open casket viewing, and Officer Gall's eyes just popped open all of a sudden, and the old lady beside me, she jumped and I guess fell on the floor, and I was laughing my ass off. I'm sorry, ma'am. Has your head stopped bleeding? Now, besides the huge and exciting world of drugs, Mr. Gall wrote poetry, and in fact he published a book of poetry called My Poetry. And I thought it would be nice if I read one of his poems for the memorial this evening. It was in the toilet, it was not of this earth. Maybe some alien had just given birth. It's a big mystery how it got in there. It was black and fermented, and it was growing hair. I tried to flush it, but there was no way in hell. It was bigger than a bread box, and boy, did it smell. It made a strange noise, a gurgling sound. I looked for the plunger, but it could not be found. So I put on some gloves and grabbed it real quick. I was very annoyed, not to mention very sick. I learned my lesson on this miserable, rotten day. I shook it, and I shook it until it exploded into bits. Never have Grandpa over when he has the shits. Grandpa ain't laughing. Excuse me. You don't be doing that at a memorial service. You do that at the back of a movie theater. You have some gall. Wipe that smile off your face. Show some respect. I noticed over here a gentleman wearing a Ted Nugent t-shirt. And I love Ted Nugent's music. My favorite song is Cat Scratch Fever. What's yours?
Wang Tang, Sweet Poon Tang.
Oh yeah, good song. You know what that song's about, eh? Yeah. How they ever got that on the radio, I never know. And now for a minute of silence. You may raise your heads now. Thank you. The service is over. That's it. What do you expect for $500? Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.